People who know me know that I never shut the hell up about Celeste. It is one of my favorite games of all time. Whenever somebody comes up to me and is asking, hey, you have any game recommendations? I just immediately, every time, say Celeste. It has a great story, smooth graphics, challenging gameplay, and an amazing soundtrack. So, let's go. The main character of the game is Madeline, who's going through some stuff back home and decides to climb a mountain. But Mount Celeste is magical and scary, and there's this old lady who laughs at you a lot. I personally think the best experience for playing this game is when you play it with nobody else around you. You are just sat in your desk by yourself or wherever you play games, and you don't have any other music playing, you're not talking to anyone, and you just absorb yourself in this game. I think it's the best way to really take in this story because it is really quite touching and just down to earth. Like, when you get to this part right here, just go through all of the dialogue options because it's really pretty and it's just a nice conversation, and it is possibly my favorite part of the entire game. The mechanics of the game are very simple. You have a jump, dash, wall jump, grab, and climb. These are just the basic controls, and although it's really simple, across every level there's all sorts of different moving platforms and just all of these different things that make each chapter of the game feel really unique from the last. The first couple of chapters are pretty easy, but once you start to get into the later game, the difficulty definitely goes up. But then, when you get to the B-sides of each of these levels, is when the real hard part begins. Hidden in each chapter is this little cassette tape that unlocks the B-side, which is just a more difficult version of that chapter. But when I say a more difficult version, I mean a much more difficult version. It's kind of ridiculous. On some of them, I have died over 1,000 times just on the one. And it makes you want to shoot a hole in your monitor a little bit, but if you're kind of a masochist, it's definitely an awesome challenge. But if you're not looking for that kind of challenge in the game, I recommend probably just looking up the rest of the story on YouTube, because there is some story that's hidden behind beating all of those levels. There's also strawberries hidden around on every level, and there's no real reward for getting them, aside from they're just really fun to go get, like the strawberries with the wings, where on the level, if you use your dash, it'll just fly away. So you have to figure out a way to get to it without ever using your dash ability. So it's usually some crazy wall jumping, and they're just a whole lot of fun. Okay, on the topic of graphics, I'm pretty biased because I just love pixel graphics. Like Stardew Valley, Terraria, and like Gen 4 Pokemon are just amazing. I love them. They are perfect to me. But Celeste is just even better in its pixel art, in my opinion. Just the use of color in this game is ridiculous. You just look at these backgrounds and it's so magical and beautiful. And usually in a game, when you picture climbing a mountain, it's kind of just white and gray, like High Hrothgar, or maybe some stuff like this. But the coloring just makes you feel like this mountain is so damn majestic. I mean, just, And the little chat boxes are super cute when the characters are talking. They're just in the little corner there doing little things every time. And my favorite one is when this character just crawls out while they're yelling at you, just completely ignoring the confines of their own universe. The sound effects in this game are really just lighthearted and goofy. People talk like Animal Crossing villagers. The sounds of each object when you interact with them are just very satisfying to hear. And this funny block is just awesome. It's great. Now, when we're talking OSTs, Celeste's is, it's one of my favorite ever. I love this so much. Lena Raine is the artist behind the soundtrack, and if you don't know who she is or you want some credentials, since 2020, she has been working on the official Minecraft soundtrack, so there's that. And the music in this game just goes from this fun, digital, kind of retro gamey sound to these slow piano tracks, and it just takes whatever you're feeling from the story and game and just amplifies it by like 100 million. When you're sitting at these slow parts and there's just casual dialogue going on, you just have these light sounds and just the sound of the wind going through, and it's just so pretty. And when there's just crazy stuff happening on your screen, you get this sense of urgency, like, yeah, I gotta go right now. And when you're failing over and over and over again at this really difficult stage, it just gives you the energy to power through it and not break anything around you. I mean, just listen to some of these tracks. Celeste is just one of those games to me that really leaves an impact. It's sweet, it's sad, it's empowering, it's frustrating, but most of all, it's just fun. It has a wonderful community, and the speedrunning is goddamn nuts. So after this video, you should definitely just look up Celeste speedrunning and see what they do. Crazy. At full price, the game is $20, but it goes on sale pretty often, so if you're playing on PC, just wishlist it on Steam and wait for it to go down if you're strapped for cash, but I would say paying the full $20 is more than worth it for the experience you get. Thank you for watching.